back. A lot of people hitting the grills for Memorial Day, but just a heads up before you hit the grill, write this number down if you need help. Longhorn, they set up a line with experts, and this is going to be on Monday from 8 until 2. So 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. You can call that number, 855-LH-GRILL. They're kind of do what the turkey folks do for Thanksgiving.
Help, I don't know how to turn my propane on.
Right, I mean, you never know, you never know. We've got an expert here, Stephen Reichlin, the author of the Brisket Chronicles. You can see his book. He wrote the book on briskets. So we said, why doesn't Stephen come in and talk about brisket since he's in town? Stephen, how are you?
I am doing great. Love the weather here and always like to be back in Colorado.
He's from Miami and he says he loves the weather.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know if I would like it in February. At any rate, this is a whole packer brisket. Now, brisket comes from the chest of the steer. It's actually 2 muscles. This baby has been smoking for about 14 hours. Wow. You cannot rush a brisket, all right?
How do you know when it's done?
Well, first of all, you can look at the color. Temperature would be 205 degrees, and you can see it kind of wiggles like meaty jello. So there we're in business. Now, the sauce is really interesting. It is a coffee barbecue sauce, and I'm just going to add a little shot of espresso.
Breakfast barbecue sauce?
No, listen, with that 12-hour smoke, that means you're getting up at 4 in the morning, right, if you want to serve it at 6 at night. So at any rate, here's the barbecue sauce, and I thought what I'd do, I want to just show you. You see this layer of red right here?
That's the smoke
That's called the smoke ring. That's the red badge of honor among barbecuers. And if you've done it right, that's what you'll wind up with.
So does that get deeper the longer you smoke it? Or is
no,
it
it actually forms about the first 3 to 4 hours. And then after that, it will not form anymore. And they tell me that they don't feed you guys here. Is that, is that true?
Ever.
Okay. So let's put a little sandwich together for you here. This is a little bit of that
well, I'll eat this.
coffee.
So you wrote the book. Yeah, Greg, you got it. You wrote the book on brisket. Why brisket specifically? Obviously, a lot of things you can smoke.
I like brisket because it's an epic meat. It's the biggest hunk of meat most of us will ever cook.
Yeah.
It's really challenging to cook, but if you get it right, you know, you can barbecue anything if you can cook a brisket.
How do you do?
You got it right.
Yep.
For sure.
Plus, not only that, but
Yep.
brisket is responsible for pastrami, for corned beef, for Vietnamese pho. I mean, it's a dish that's found all over the world.
So if you're just getting into smoking and you want something kind of easy to smoke, what would you start? Would you go with like chicken first, or what cut would you start with?
The easiest thing to smoke is a pork shoulder, okay? You cannot wreck a pork shoulder. It's got so much fat in it.
I beg to argue with that.
Okay.
I could do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is an easy cut. Then maybe ribs or something like that.
And then ribs. But you know what? You want to work up to doing brisket because that's your badge of honor.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, I got a friend who can smoke when you can do a brisket.
Yes.
And you're going to be obviously signing copies of your book here in town in Denver today?
Well, actually, the signing was last night at Book Bar, but they have plenty of signings. But I'm headed down to Colorado Springs later on today for my once-a-year crash course on barbecue and grilling. It's a program called Barbecue University at the Broadmoor Resort. It starts on Friday morning. Super fun. We get people from all over the country. Is it too late
to sign up for that?
Not too late to sign up for it.
BBQU.
And we're going to be, next week, we're going to be barbecuing an A5 Wagyu brisket from Japan.
Oh, wow.
This is a brisket that retails for $2,000.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's a pretty special hunk of meat. Pardon me?
Are they going to let you smoke it?
They asked me to smoke
He's
it.
the guy
They're
to
flying
smoke
in
it.
from Seattle to watch me smoke it.
If anyone smokes it, he's the guy. Thank you, Stephen.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Great to be on the show.
Sure.
I'm going to get you set up with a sandwich in a minute.
great.
I know you had to do the talking.
Toss it to somebody
I
else.
thought I might be able to finish that entire thing before the end of the segment. Sadly, I cannot. We'll send it on into Megan and Drew, and there's not going to be any meat left by the time you guys are done with the segment. So